My experience that I have, like so many experiences, but because we have very limited time, so I will just share only one or two experiences in a nutshell to share what I felt there and what I saw there. So I would like to share one experience that I have. And in fact, we all had experience that was at the last mock-up when we reached there. That was the last mock-up before Karbala, reaching to Karbala. So we offered ARBAEEN prayers there, and then we stayed a while there. And what I noticed was when we were staying there, I saw a man came on crutches, and then he had a family with him, and he came to us and he requested, he was in fact begging us that we go with him and stay at his home. But because we were so determined and we walked 3 days to reach to Karbala, and we had full hearts and we had our eyes full, waiting to see shrines of Aba Abdullah and the shrine of Ghazi Abbas. So we wanted to go as soon as possible, reach Karbala and say our prayers there and say Labbaik Ya Hussein over there. So it was really hard to deny that person. But then we explained to him that this is what we are feeling. This is what we have been traveling for, like three days continuous. We were traveling, so that we want to reach to Karbala as soon as possible. And then he said that, okay, you guys go. You can go and say my prayers over there too. So that was something really special experience. One other experience quickly I would share, that was when we were walking from Najaf to Karbala at pole 327, we reached there. That was really like a late night time. And then we were looking for accommodation where we can stay. That 327 pole, we went there, we went inside, and then we asked them that we want to stay here. They told us that, look, all tents and all rooms are fully occupied. We don't have any space left. And we were about to leave, and I saw one person walking towards us, and I found that he is in charge of the mock-up, and he said that don't go anywhere. All of the servants, like khudams or the people who are looking after the zawars, have vacated their tent for us. And they have been they have not even slept for 3 to 4 nights, but they had a chance to sleep tonight. But they said, no, we don't want to sleep. We want to give this to the zawars of Abu Abdullah. That was amazing to see that, experience that, and then see that what people can do for Imam Hussein. So that was really amazing. And then there were so many other, as I said, every step you see a miracle out there. It's not just easy to describe in words.
Yes, I quite agree to you, Brother Jatoi. And as you are mentioning, like despite the difference of language or the culture, there is something which connects us, which is the love in our hearts for Abba Abdullah, which brings us all together, especially at the ARBAEEN walk. So now I want to continue the discussion. And while we are almost coming to the end of the program as well, just a few more questions to go. I would like to direct my last question to Brother Sajjad. Last question for Brother Sajjad it is. Brother Sajjad, so when you are doing the walk, and you're on the way from Najaf to Karbala, you have been walking continuously for 3 days. And compared to our lifestyle here, where we are so extra comfortable, and finally, after facing all these emotional, sentimental scenes and challenges, finally, you see a big sign which says, "Welcome to the Holy Land of Karbala." And finally, we know the destination is coming near. And we enter the outskirts and then the city of Karbala, and similar scenes what just before Brother Abul Hassan or Brother Altamash were describing. So my question to you is, what is your feeling when you finally arrive Karbala, and what do you exactly see and what do you experience?
Yeah, so as Brother Jatoi and all my brothers have mentioned that it is such a difficult question to explain. There are no words to proper explain the feelings what you observe when you see the shrine of him, Abdullah and Mawla Abbas alayhi salam. I was left speechless when I arrived to Karbala. I was feeling a bit tired after 3 days of walk, but was also fighting my tears, as it was such a special feeling when I saw the shrine of Mawla Abbas and Imam Hussain alayhi salam. So we stayed in Karbala for at least 5 more days, visiting each and every holy place and spending time on the streets of Karbala, wondering how lucky we are. I was actually thanking Almighty Allah that I was able to plan for this trip and was able to visit holy places. And then I was thanking my parents then that they have passed this love of Al-Ibad to me, that I was able to plan and I was eager to go and visit these places. Our accommodation was few steps away from Holy Shrine of Mawla Abbas. So we were mostly spending time in both shrines. So yeah, this was a truly special feeling. And once the ARBAEEN was over, it was a bit quiet, but the shrine was still flooded with Zaireen. So yeah, that was a totally different experience. And just to sum up some more details on the experience, I would like to recite a few verses which were written by my father-in-law, Sayyid Samar Abdi. I would first recite in Urdu, which says that, "Soe Karbal hai nazar, hum hain Hussaini Kiwis. Hai naseebon mein safar, hum hain Hussaini Kiwis. Rahe Karbal mein guzar jayenge din raat apne hogi na khabar, hum hain Hussaini Kiwis." So if I explain in English, then it is our sight is focused at Karbala. We are Hussaini Kiwis. We are destined for this journey. We are Hussaini Kiwis. Our days and night will spend in service of Imam Hussain alayhi salam. We are Hussaini Kiwis. We will forget all matters of this world in this journey. We are Hussaini Kiwis. So yeah, this is all the experience I had during my visit, and inshallah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless each and every one of us to visit this again and plan this journey with family, inshallah.
Ilahi Ameen. Thank you for sharing these amazing feelings with us, Brother Sajjad. And I mean, as you said and you described your feelings very well, this is definitely true that once you reach the shrines of Hazrat Abbas and Imam Hussain, there is no other place we want to be. And also the way our imams host us, that very, very small place expends to make sure that it caters for all the Zaireen which go to pay their tribute and respects. Alhamdulillah. So now I would like to come towards Brother Altamash once again. Altamash Bhai, yesterday we heard from some of our youth who are from our community, who shared their passion and motivation to go for ziyarah. And I was truly inspired by some of them, as some of them are even born and bred in New Zealand. So my question to you is that there are many, who come across challenges, and as we discussed, they may get blisters and some other types of discomfort on the way. But still, people like to keep returning to Imam Hussein. Describe the energy and your own personal motivation. Why do you want to keep doing this work of ARBAEEN as a Hussaini Kiwi?
Yes, I was actually listening to the episode yesterday, and it was so nice to hear from those youngsters, all those young sisters who shared the experiences. And I can actually recall Sister Laiba. She mentioned that she actually mentioned one of the sayings, and it is also recited very much in the poetry, that if it was not for Bibi Zainab alayhi salam, Karbala would have stayed in Karbala. It was Bibi Zainab alayhi salam and the captives who were taken after the event of Ashura that they propagated this message. And the propagation of this message came to us through our parents. And it doesn't matter where you are born or where you are living and how much comfort or discomfort you are living. It is that love of Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam which is instilled in your heart by your parents, by your family. That's the motivation. That's the motivation which takes you back there again and again. Either it is physical, or with the advent of technology now you can see live streams. So it is that love which is instilled by your parents, by your family. And my message to all the youngsters and everyone who is watching is, don't take this passion, this love lightly. I think the one thing which I myself in 2 consecutive years felt is the self-reflection. You go there, you reflect on your life, what you have been doing, what you should have been doing. And there are things which are hard to put in words. You will only experience when you go there. Physical challenges, physical difficulties are nothing. The one thing which you have to reflect upon is the challenges and the difficulties which were faced by the family of Imam Hussain alayhi salam after Ashura, because Imam Hussain alayhi salam's martyrdom happened at the time of us on 10th of Muharram, but it didn't stop there. It continued on for a year and a half. The captives were taken from Karbala to Kufa, then from Kufa to Sham, then hard and harsh imprisonment there, and then they returned back. Imagine returning back from Sham to Karbala for the first time, and then going back from Karbala to Medina, to your homeland. Just keep once you keep that in your mind, once you reflect on it, all these physical challenges which people face are nothing. People get blisters. We saw so many, even not so much young people, but they were really aged people, like beyond their 50s or 60s. They had these bandages in their feet, and they were still walking. I mean, where on earth would someone do that? For who would someone do that? It is that love. It is that passion which is instilled in your heart by your family, by your parents, and yeah. Like I was listening to Brother Samir in the first episode, and as he said, you can go on and on and on and on about it, but there is so much to talk about, but we are limited by time. So yeah, I think I should stop. Otherwise, I can keep going for all night.
Yes, absolutely. Definitely. Thank you for referring to our other guest in the other episodes. And you're quite right that the way they described their feelings, especially the youngsters, it was very unique. And I quite agree to your advice to especially our youngsters not to take this love of Imam Hussein in our hearts lightly, because it's definitely Allah himself. He has promised that he will keep that love alive as a heat in the heart of the mu'mineen. And also, we definitely should be thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that he has given us the opportunity to spread the name of Imam Hussein in a country like New Zealand, and also to carry the flag of New Zealand all the way up to Karbala as on your Kiwi Hussaini flag as well. We have got the silver fern, and you were also carrying the flag of New Zealand along with the Kiwi Hussaini flag. So it's definitely a great duty that you all are performing as a group, and we definitely truly appreciate it. And we hope that your group only grows in the coming years, inshallah. So now, Brother Abul Hassan, inshallah, like I want to come to you. This is the last question directed to you, and inshallah, once we have finished all the question and answer session, then I would also request you to bless this mehfil, this majlis, with a few ash'ar of Noha, and inshallah we will give the sawab of this to the shuhada and our marhumeen, inshallah. So because we have been talking a little bit about the practical aspects of Ziyarat al-ARBAEEN, there was one more question which came to my mind, just like we have discussed, Alian discussed about the schedule, Altamash Bhai discussed about the polls. What I want to ask you about this term mawqib, because I remember I used to be very blank about what is a mawqib. I, in fact, didn't even know how to say it properly. So it would be good for us to share with our audience what exactly a mawqib is, and how is it different from, for example, we are familiar with the Islamic centers or Hussainiyas here, but what makes mawqib unique on its own?
Yeah, sister. So I think mawqib, if I try to, and yeah, first of all, people find it difficult because some people say mawqib, some people say mawqab, and different pronunciation in their own languages. But when I was trying to find the actual meaning, because it is, I think, Arabic word, right? So the literal meaning, what I found was procession or caravan. So what I can think of in my own word is where people gather, or where people come for maybe rest or come together for at a place to spend time or to stay for the night, maybe. So maybe in a way, this is the place where people take a break, stop and have rest, and before continuing for the walk, they can just relax, maybe sleep for some time, have some food. And mashallah, if you go there, and if you've been there, you must have seen that the arrangements at these mawqibs or these resting places are so amazing that you just think that how can you manage all the things and at such a massive scale. Just one example that I think someone has already mentioned, mawqib 327, it's Karwan-e-Hind. I've been there 2 times, and we can all, I think we'll all agree that the massive scale that these guys arrange everything, and they take care of every minor details like food and the dessert and the fruits and resting places and teas and different coffees and I don't know what, the breakfast. Just imagine. So I think it's a place where people, when they are walking, they can stay, take a break, have rest, and continue towards Imam Hussain.
Yes, that's right. No, definitely, I agree to you. And also, I would just like to add that there is, a separate section for the ladies and for the men where they can easily go and rest and spend their time. And some of their mawqibs are even organized by, for example, the Shrine of Imam Raza alayhi salam, or some big organizations like the Fatma Trust or the Huz Hussain organization. So it's always really, really good to also connect with many people from all around the globe as well. If we had at the time, we will also show some photos of the VR Karbala stall that we all went to. And you get to see a lot of new things and a lot of new experiences. So it's it's an ever-changing scene. So thank you for that, Abul Hassan Bhai. And inshallah, this will be the last question of our program today. And this question is a little bit on a lighter note, and it is directed to you, Alian. So during the walk, you see many types of food being served. So what are some common food that you eat there? Also tell us about the famous chai and how it keeps you going at the walk.
Yes. So when we're talking about food, this once again emphasizes the amount of generosity and the amount of passion that the Iraqi people have, especially in terms of when they're serving the zawar of Imam Hussain. They do their best to make sure that there's no shortcoming in any way. I know we stayed at a mawqib that was even giving toothbrushes and toothpaste and things like that. So they really try their best to focus even on the tiniest of details. And most of the food is traditional Arabic food, but as mentioned before, poll 327, Karawan Hind, it was like traditional food from back home, or where there's different polls, different mawaqib are from like different nationalities. So like the Lebanese, the Pakistani, the Indian, the Irani, they all serve their own traditional kinds of food. And some people, when they're doing the walk, they make sure that they visit these certain mawaqib because they're all experiences. For example, you may not be able to go to Lebanon, but you can go to the Lebanese mawaqib and you can experience a little bit of their style of the way they eat and the way they prepare things. So as well as that, the chai, the famous chai, the two types, Irani and Iraqi. Some have preferences. Some Iraqi is more strong, Irani is on the lighter side. And these teas, they have a lot of sugar. And I think that's something that keeps you going, because you don't really want to eat too much when you're walking because you don't want to feel too full. So these teas and this food, it really does keep you going throughout the whole walk because you do need a large amount of energy. And so the servants, as they say, or the Iraqi people, they try their best to make sure that the Zair and the Zawar, all their needs are fulfilled. And this then again reflects the Hussaini values of generosity and passion and selflessness that these Iraqi people embody while they're serving the Zair, while they're serving the Zawar.
Thank you, Alian. Beautifully described, and may Allah bless you and inshallah take you again and again and make you servant of Bibi Fatima al-Zahra and Sayyid al-Shuhada, inshallah. Okay, so we are almost reaching to the end of our program now. And to close off, as promised, I would like to request Brother Abul Hassan now for a short recitation of Latamia as we try to connect our hearts to Karbala and all those Irene who have already reached there and started their walk as we move towards the day of ARBAEEN. And the poetry or the Noha that Brother Abul Hassan will be reciting is in Urdu language, but inshallah, we will try to translate it in few lines in English for our non-Urdu viewers. Thank you. Sallu ala Muhammad.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Yes, so this is Urdu Noha, a very old and very famous Noha by Sayyid Nadeem Raza Sahib. So I would just, looking at the time, I would just recite two verses to share of this Noha. जाने वाले करबला के करबला ले चल मुझे, जाने वाले करबला के करबला ले चल मुझे, जाने वाले करबला के करबला ले चल मुझे, रोज़ाए शबीर पर दूंगा दुआ ले चल मुझे। जिस जगह जागी थी किस्मत हुर की वो देखूंगा मैं, जिस जगह जागी थी किस्मत हुर की वो देखूंगा मैं। आसियों पर होती कैसे होती है अता ले चल मुझे, जिस जगह बास के बाजू कलम हो कर गिरे, उस जगह मैं भी करूं मातम जरा ले चल मुझे। जल गए शामे गरीबा में जहां है में तमाम, जिस जगह नन्हा सा एक झूला जला ले चल मुझे, जाने वाले करबला ले चल मुझे। मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु
Thank you so much for that, Brother Abul Hassan. And because of the shortage of time, just in few words, these beautiful words of a very old Noha. It was addressing a Zair or a traveler towards Karbala who's going to Karbala, and the person is calling that, please take me along. And once I reach the shrine, then I will also make dua for you. So inshallah, like this is definitely the feeling of many of us, and it comes from our hearts, and inshallah, our duas, our voices are heard in Karbala, inshallah, and we all get to visit the shrine of Aba Abdullah next year. So before we finish, I would also like to take the opportunity to make some announcements for the official Majlis programs of ARBAEEN conducted online due to the limitations of level 3 lockdown in Auckland. The ARBAEEN Majalis program starts from Friday, the 24th of September at 7:30 p.m., recited by Sayyid Muhammad al-Mudarrisi. This is also the Shahadat of Imam Ali Raza alayhi salam. Then the second program will be on Saturday, the 25th of September, starting at the same time. Sunday, 26th and Monday, 27th September will be after the daylight saving. So we start our program at 8:30 p.m. These majalis will be recited by Sayyid Muhammad Qadim al-Mudarrisi, inshallah. With this, I would like to pass on my heartfelt gratitude to our special guest for joining us tonight, and those who were watching us live or will be watching the recording later, inshallah. Please remember all of us in your dua, and hopefully we will see you tomorrow in the last and the fourth episode of ARBAEEN Reflections. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
Hussain